Ganas. That's all I need. Ganas, desire to learn.
If you expect kids to be losers, they will be losers. If you expect kids to be winners, they will be winners. If you expect more positive, they have something to offer, and hold them accountable for whatever they do, they will amaze you. Young life can change. Yes, I have seen it happen at Garfield High School.
Today, I want to start a little bit different. And I want to introduce somebody that's very special. You guys have heard him before.
Hey, hi guys. How's it going?
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous.
It's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, I was in another grade when we did it.
So what grade are you in now?
I'm in 9th grade. I'm in high school.
How's high school life?
High school life is pretty good, pretty easy. I got used to the schedule of doing homework. So every time after school, I get home from school, I do all my homework, and then I don't have to do any homework till next week.
I know you're very on top of your stuff. I wanted to ask you, what do teachers mean to you?
Teachers are, they're like the parents of school, you know? And they just mean so much greatness, basically, in a kid's life, because they're teaching them the subject. They're teaching the new generation, so they mean a lot.
Now, have you always had great teachers?
No, I've had some bad teachers before, and that's why sometimes in math, that's why I can't do like fractions or anything too good. Because the teacher I had for that year in the past in elementary school was really bad.
And it doesn't help that your mom and your dad are completely useless when it comes to math, right?
Yeah.
You can say it, don't be scared.
Yeah. I mean, totally. I mean, I remember once in the 6th grade, my dad tried to help me with math, and we didn't even understand it. And then I went to the teacher, and then the teacher didn't even explain it that good. So it was just a mess that year.
I can definitely understand that. You were telling me at the beginning of the year of a very special teacher. Can you tell us a little bit more about that teacher?
Yeah, the teacher, the one that really can put in the effort and really can help you grasp a lot is my math teacher. For sure, it's my math teacher, Miss Peña. She makes sure you get the subject. She teaches it like over and over. Make sure you're able to grasp the idea really goodly.
Now, have you seen improvement after having her as your math teacher for your math skills?
Yeah, for sure. I have boosted up a lot in test scoring, and I'm noticing that I'm able to grasp a little bit more easier. And I know if I don't know fully what to do in an equation, I know what steps to take, and I actually know what to piece together instead of sitting there and just being on a log. She's pretty approachable, nice, kind, and yeah, just a good teacher. Nothing bad.
Now, in the last few years, now that you're, a teenager, I think ever since you turned 13 and became a teen, your dad and I have been trying to teach you about the 80's and the 90's and kind of the stuff that we grew up on, right? And there was a movie that we showed you, and that kind of sparked this episode, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did. The movie was Stand and Deliver back in 1988. Good movie, teacher, Mr. Escalante. And in that movie, it shows how life was back then in the 80's and how race had a big effect in it back then in Los Angeles. And it's good to see that. And then Mr. Escalante, his teaching skills, just how he made things tie up to life, and how he was able to teach all those kids like the greatest things that you can learn in math is absolutely great. It's great.
Yes, and one thing towards the end, we see the impact that he's had. Again, this is the class that's pictured in that 1988 film was actually the class of 1982. And then it shows afterwards the effect, it just kept growing, right, of the people that were graduating.
Escalante was able to make sure you had it in your mind. He made sure you're able to go like, oh, this ties up with so-and-so. And with Miss Peña, she does the same with this one commercial back, I think, in the 90s. And it's a air freshening commercial, and it's plug it in. Because in math, you always just have to plug in numbers, and that's it.
What's her little saying to you?
Plug it in, plug it in. Just seeing how both of these teachers, watching it now and watching, being in the class of Miss Peña, honestly, and seeing how both of them are a little bit similar. And I'm able to see that Miss Peña got some teaching methods or kind of adapted it to modern day from Mr. Escalante.
And I think it's very important to mention that Miss Peña, even though she wasn't depicted in the movie, she was one of Mr. Escalante's students. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing. I think I'm blessed to have a teacher like that was able to do such great lengths and be in a class of like a goat, basically. It's just a blessing.
With that, can you give us the honor and introduce us to Miss Peña?
Yeah, my math teacher, she teaches 9th grade, Miss Peña, mathematics. She's great, and I hope you guys like hearing what she has to say.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Peña. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I didn't believe my son when he told me. I think it was within like the first weeks of school. I think it was like the first or second week. I can't recall, but he was like, my math teacher, she's amazing. And she was even like part of a movie. Like I can't remember how he described it to me. And I was like, the only movie I can think of is Stand and Deliver. And then he's like, what is that? And that's when we showed it to him. And he was like, oh, and then he's like, yeah, Mom, I think that's it. And I was like, wow. I was like, no wonder she's an amazing teacher. So I feel honored. Compliment. Yes. I feel honored that you're here. I feel honored that you're my son's teacher. He has, just in this year alone, I've seen him grow so much with his math, and he really enjoys math, which is really hard because me and his dad hate it.
Well, that's my goal. I mean, more than anything, I want my students to enjoy math, and I can't say I'm successful with all of them, but at least I've had a few students who have said, you know what, I'd like math, and there's a possibility I could go on in math, and that's really my goal, to have students enjoy math and see the beauty.
And you're doing that, and my son is a very good example of that, because he feels like he can take on math now, like with ease. He's like, I can be an architect, like anything that involves math, it doesn't scare him anymore. So thank you for that.
And he's doing well. So that is wonderful. It's wonderful to see that. And just to be clear, I wasn't in the movie. I was part of the group. Yeah, I was part of the group that was at the end. I'm like, I'm in the credits. I'm one of the years that had the students passing the AP exam.
Mi gente, unfortunately, due to YouTube copyrights, we're unable to play the full video here. However, don't worry, I got you. You can still catch the rest of this video exclusively on Spotify at the Embracing My Markings podcast. Don't miss out. Trust me, this is a really good episode. Head over to Spotify now to catch the rest of the video interview. I'll see you there.